Hey, Ryan Waheb here, and welcome to this video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about human design quantum physics and the science of your human design chart. Because I don't know if you're like me, but I have a very scientific, skeptical mind. I always like to try to understand things through the lens of science. Now, over the years, I've also really had my own experiences on my spiritual and personal development journey that have built my faith in the subtle planes, the energetic planes, the magic of life. And I always look for, where does science meet magic? Where do they connect? And human design is a great place where they connect, actually. And when I first got my human design chart, my mind was boggled. Like, how can this complex little chart come out of my birth information? And how can it tell me such specific things about myself? And because my mind had so much doubt, I really had trouble trusting the system. Years later, and giving hundreds of readings, I now definitely trust it. But back then, it helped me a lot to understand the science. And that's what I want to do for you in this video, is give you kind of that quantum physics scientific understanding of your chart and the four systems that are the base of it: the Western astrology system, the chakra system, the energetic channels of the Kabbalah, and the ancient Chinese philosophy of the I-Ching. And I want to go through the science of each of those four systems and how they all interweave to create this map of your body, this map of how energy flows through your body and how you're designed to make decisions and move through the world. So let's just start off with Western astrology. So the question here is, how do the positions of the planets actually impact my body while I'm in the womb and at the moment of my birth? What is the science behind them? And to look at this, we actually have to look at quantum particles called neutrinos. Now, in the 80s, when Ra-Uru Hu channeled the human design system through him, he talked about that the voice was speaking through him, talked about these subatomic particles that had mass, that there were trillions of them flowing through the space in between all people and all objects and all things, and flowing through all people, all objects, and all things. Now, because they had an infinitesimal amount of mass, it meant that they were picking up information from each person and each object and passing it along to other people and objects, and picking up information in all of the space in between as well. Now, you can think about this kind of like when two cars have an accident. If a white car and a blue car have crash, a little white paint will get on the blue car and a little blue paint will get on the white car. So it's the same thing with neutrinos. As neutrinos crash into you, they're leaving a little bit of information that they were carrying and picking up a little bit of information from you and carrying it onward. So there's trillions of neutrinos passing through you in every single moment, and these are called the neutrino stream. And neutrinos are the exhalation of stars. They're the output of nuclear fission that happens within the center of stars and exhales these neutrinos out into the solar system. So 70% of the neutrinos in our solar system come from the sun. A small amount come from Jupiter, which I still don't quite understand, but the rest of them come from the other stars in our solar system. So these neutrinos hit your body at these two distinct moments. The first is at the moment 88 days before your birth, while you're in the womb. And this is usually in between the second and third trimester, right around that period of time. And this is the moment that the voice said your soul comes into your body. There's no science really backing or not backing that piece. But then the second moment is the moment you come into the world, where you're born. So it's the moment your multidimensional aspect comes into the human fetus growing in the womb, and then the moment that you enter the world for the first time with your own unique energetic field impacting the world separate from your mom. And in these two distinct moments, the neutrino stream is hitting your little body and imprinting you with very particular information and energetics, the information of the planets. Now, the neutrinos that are impacting you the most are the neutrinos that came from the sun, because there's 70% of them came from the sun and then directly hit you. And then another large amount are coming through the earth, because we live on the earth. So there's a very close proximity to our bodies and the earth. So a lot of earth neutrinos are hitting our body, but then all the other planets are also influencing us, and the various characteristics and qualities of these celestial beings, these celestial living organisms that are flowing through space. The information and energetics they carry are imprinting us through the neutrinos, crashing into us and leaving some of that information in us. And based on where their location is, can determine how many of each type of neutrino is hitting our body and programming us, which then programs our energetics in a very unique way, the way you're designed to move through the world. It's not just like a horoscope. It's not just this unscientific thing. Western astrology is very, very scientific, and it does operate all the way at the quantum level of this huge flurry of activity of all the neutrinos that are right here between me and this camera that are flowing all over the place all the time. So this brings us to the chakra system, the second system. And what are the quantum physics of the chakra system? So the chakra system, the 7 chakras that are traditionally talked about in Eastern teachings, correspond to the human design system through the 9 energy centers. And these are, just like the chakras, are like energy gathering points, like energy power centers, where there's one in the heart, there's one in the throat, third eye, head, solar plexus, sacral root. And in the human design system, we're looking at 2 other energetic centers where the heart is kind of split into 2. The G center, the diamond in the middle, is the upper heart, and then kind of like a lower heart, which is the ego center, the lower self, the part of us that is willpower and self-worth. And then the third chakra is kind of split into 2 energy centers as well. The solar plexus governing emotions and the spleen governing instincts. So more on that again in another video, but these are energy centers that have a certain job in the energetic system. So like I mentioned, the lower heart is about like self-worth and willpower. The upper heart chakra, or energy center I should say, is more about identity and direction, while the throat is about expression and manifestation, and the spleen is about instincts, as I said, and the sacral is about energy and life force. And so there's these energy centers where energy gathers in the body and then has a certain function, a particular function in those energy centers. So again, the quantum physics of this is that we are energetic beings. And now leading into the Kabbalah and the quantum physics of the Kabbalah is we have energetic channels going through our body. And the Kabbalah is an ancient Jewish study, while the meridian lines of Eastern healing and acupuncture are where they're trying to stimulate energy to travel through different meridian lines. These energetic channels have been studied by many different traditions, many centuries. And the quantum physics has shown that we do have these entry points for energy to come in through our feet, through our crown, through also minor chakra points, and to flow through our body. And this energy, this chi, what the Chinese call chi, the Indians call prana, the Jewish Kabbalists call divine light, is actually what gives energy to our organs to help us breathe, to help our heart pump blood through our body. So this energy is flowing from the quantum field around us. It's connecting all of us. We have an auric field that has also been measured by scientific and medical equipment at this point. So does every being. So does this computer, this table that it's sitting on. So do all plants, animals, objects, all have a field. And then there's that field of the earth. And then there's the quantum field that's carrying all the information of all the people through the neutrinos and other particles as well. So there's this energy that then is entering our body to help the human form, the energy slow down enough to become matter to move through the world. So as you can see, this is that there really is this subtle energetic level of existence of you that the human design system is actually showing, and it's showing it through your birth information that is calculating which neutrinos imprinted your energetics in a very particular way. And what does that mean for how energy flows through your body from one energy center to another through various energetic channels? And this brings us to the ancient philosophy of the I-Ching. And the I-Ching was developed over 5,000 years ago in ancient China. And the Chinese philosophers were observing nature, and they observed that nature could really be explored through 64 archetypal moments. And if anyone was struggling with anything, they could consult the archetypal wisdom of these 64 moments to really understand how to approach these challenges they're going through. And this became kind of the first oracle. And the structure of the 64 archetypal moments was built on top of the energy of the 4 seasons, which was built on top of the yin and yang energies. So the basic zeros and ones of the masculine, more active energy and the feminine, more passive energy. This wisdom is the same exact wisdom that as we've discovered our DNA, we discovered that our DNA has 64 codons that are called codons because they actually code us as we are moving through the world, and based through the field of epigenetics on how we're perceiving the world. And these 64 codons are made up of 4 base nucleotides organized into different combinations of 3, creating 64 codons. Just like the 64 archetypal moments called hexagrams of the I-Ching are organized by the 4 seasonal energies being organized in groups of 3 in the 64 different combinations. So it's truly, truly incredible that the DNA, our DNA structure, centuries later, I mean, this is just in the last several decades we discovered DNA, the structure of it maps directly to the structure that the ancient Chinese philosophers saw in nature and built into this whole philosophy of the I-Ching, which has helped, is the foundation of a lot of Eastern medicine, and it's an incredibly, incredibly rich philosophy and tradition. And immediately when we discovered DNA, people were writing papers on this correlation. Now, so the human design system, when you look at your chart, you're going to see 64 gates. These 64 gates do correspond to both the 64 codons of your DNA and the 64 hexagrams of the I-Ching. As different planets were in different positions of the sky, imprinting you with different informations at different timings, the energy of various gates or hexagrams was imprinted into you as well. And this wisdom of nature is within you because you are nature. You're inseparable. You're one. This is one giant vibrational energetic field. And your energy is a little bit more slowed down, which is created matter, but it's still, you're part of the bigger field. So you are nature, you're inseparable from it, and the wisdom of nature is built in through the energetic channels and gates of your body and the energetic centers. So when you're interpreting your human design chart, or someone's interpreting it for you through a reading, you are interpreting your nature, how you're here to move through the world. And when you align to that, your most natural purpose can move through you. Instead of trying to figure out what your purpose is through your mind, or trying to like fix yourself or find it in a book or make it happen or force it. When you align to how energy is designed to move through you, your nature, then your purpose will just begin to happen. You'll start to resonate with the environments and communities where your purpose is going to be called forth, and where the people will recognize you for it, and where you can bring it forth. So that's the science of your human design chart. And I really hope this helped and kind of connected it to the quantum physics, epigenetics, and the DNA, and really understanding that it's more than just, hey, I entered my birth information here and this magical chart popped out. That is part of it, but a lot of it is based and founded in science. So I really hope this helped you. I hope this helped any skeptical part of your mind relax to understand how this system actually works and the quantum physics underneath it, so that your mind can release resistance and you can really take in the wisdom of your chart. So if you haven't already, go to orionweb.com/HD guide to download your own 19-page personalized report that will tell you all about your human design. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe, leave a comment, and you're going to be entered to win a free 2-hour human design reading with me, one-on-one. We're going to go dive deep into your chart so you can begin to live your design and really understand how all the complex elements of your chart work together in a really deep, specific way. So we're going to be giving this human design reading away at 100 subscribers. So I think we're about 83 away right now. So every comment you leave between now and 100 enters you another chance to win the reading. So make sure you subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, and I hope you get the reading so I get to sit with you for 2 hours, get to know you, and get to support you in understanding your design. Until then, get your personalized guide. Leave comments, leave questions below. I make sure to answer everyone, and I hope you're having a beautiful day.